The shoreline, our ribbon of life, where water meets land and ecosystems coexist harmoniously. The place we go to relax and escape the bustle of everyday life. The value and sustainability of a natural shoreline depends on us. We need to do our part to help preserve the natural paradise that exists in our backyards. The Quinte region is blessed with thousands of kilometers of shoreline along our lakes, rivers, and the Bay of Quinte. Many people live on the shoreline or own recreational property on the water. It's important to keep these shorelines natural and healthy so they can be enjoyed by future generations. But what makes a shoreline natural and healthy? Natural shorelines are home to native plants like flowers and wild grasses. A variety of wildlife that live in and around the water make shorelines their home. Natural shorelines have not been changed, cemented, or mowed by humans. Natural shorelines are a haven for a variety of wildlife. They provide shelter, shade, travel corridors, and food for wildlife, such as dragonflies, frogs, turtles, fish, and water birds. Wildlife depend on the ribbon of life for breeding, spawning, nesting, feeding, growing, and escaping from predators. Natural shorelines are beautiful and easy to maintain. It takes little time or money to keep your shoreline property natural. Why spend your leisure time slaving over a lawnmower or handling harmful chemical pesticides? To naturalize your shoreline, mark a 3-meter distance from the shoreline inland. Don't change this area in any way. No mowing, fertilizing, or weeding. After a year of leaving the vegetation untouched, grasses and wildflowers will begin to grow. The longer you leave the area untouched, the more local wildlife, plants, and flowers will start to appear along your shore. By leaving these plants along the shoreline, you're helping to provide shelter and food for animals and aquatic life in your area. If you would like to have a little more control over the look of your natural shoreline, you can plant native trees, shrubs, plants, and grasses along your shore. These plants and trees are well suited to our local climate and need little maintenance. Quinte Conservation's knowledgeable staff can help you with plant, tree, and shrub selection. Having a natural shoreline also protects your property from nuisance wildlife like Canada geese. Shoreline property that is mowed right to the water attracts these birds. They feel safe when there are no tall grasses. Tall grasses can hide predators, and the geese will stay away from properties with natural shorelines. Owning a waterfront property can be a rewarding and relaxing addition to your lifestyle. There are just a few things to keep in mind. When building close to the water, always keep the delicate nature of a shoreline in mind. Never clear-cut your shoreline. A clear-cut shoreline provides an easy way for pollutants to seep into the ground or run off into your waterway. These pollutants can affect your drinking water, especially if you have a shoreline intake well. Use a floating dock instead of a solid one, and never build a vertical wall. Fish are an important part of the ribbon of life, and we need to keep their habitat intact. Always be very careful to avoid chemical spills from boats and other water vehicles. A natural shoreline provides protection against erosion. Erosion is the loss of soil from land. Erosion is caused by natural events such as wind and runoff. For the homeowner, erosion can cause the loss of property and the decrease of property value. For any local species living on your shoreline, the consequences of erosion are much worse. If you plan to develop or change your shoreline in any way, be sure to get in touch with Quinte Conservation first. We issue permits and provide helpful technical advice. Learning to maintain your shoreline is a vital part of waterfront living. Now that we know the facts, we can all do our part to prevent erosion, to keep shorelines natural, and to preserve the ribbon of life. Working around water. Always consult Quinte Conservation before making any changes near your shoreline. Apply for work permits. Maintaining your property. Build at least 30 meters away from shore. Start a buffer strip by leaving some grass uncut near the water. Never use pesticides or herbicides by the water. What to avoid? Short grass to the water's edge, bare shoreline, solid docks, chemical spills. While humans rely on shorelines for sustenance and beauty, shorelines rely on us to let the flow of the earth run its natural course. Shorelines are ours to protect and preserve for future generations to enjoy. For more information, visit quintyconservation.ca or call 613-968-3434.